Hello! We are at the end of our beginner knit chevron blanket or throw or whatever. We have gone through all 7 colors. I was attempting to go through another row. I got about halfway through and realized I had enough yarn to get to the end of that row, but I would not have enough to then cast off on the way back. You're supposed to end on a row 1 or an odds row, the row where you do the pattern of knit 2 togethers and yarn overs. I ended on a row 2, which is just knitting everything. And honestly, I don't really think it makes that big of a difference. I'm not going to frog back or unravel to the previous row because I think it's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to be a big noticeable difference on the very last row. And if there is, I guess we'll find out. So at this point, we need to cast off. Casting off is essentially just knitting, which is why I believe they want you to end on a row 1, just so it is more congruous to the pattern. But let's go ahead and do that really quick. So as a quick refresher, in case you don't know, or in case you just don't know, casting off is, like I said, just knitting, but this is how you're gonna do it. So you're gonna knit the first stitch, just like normal, and then you're gonna knit the second stitch, just like normal. So you have 2 stitches on one on your new needle, right? Then you're going to take the first stitch and you're going to grab it with your needle. You're going to slip it over and off so that you're left with 1 stitch on the needle. Then you're going to knit another stitch and you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to grab the stitch, the first stitch, the stitch lower down on the needle, bring it over and slip it off. Knit the next stitch, and then same thing, grabbing that first stitch, bringing it over and slipping it off. Okay, so just keep doing that all the way until you have 1 stitch left. So remember, when you're doing this, you always only have a maximum of 2 stitches on your needle at a time, and you go down to 1. and then you do another one, and then you loop the first one over and you go down to 1. And you just keep doing this, and you keep doing this until you get down to 1 stitch left. You can see here is our part that we've now completed. And I will end up with a small amount of yarn left over. Like I said, it wasn't enough to go down the full row and then knit off. So I'm okay having a tiny bit left over, or whatever amount I have. I'll find something to do with it. Maybe I'll make a small little cat toy or something. Just a little bit left. Okay, and then when you're at the last one, the very last one, there's no more to bring on it. There's only the one that's here. When you take it off, kind of expand your hole a little bit, the loop. It's kind of hard to see because of the contrast there. Kind of expand the loop a little bit. All right, and so here, I'll show you. This is how much yarn I have left. Just a little bit. Like a meter or so. Anyway, so now the needle is completely free. And we're at the very end. Take your yarn, loop it through, pull it tight to knot off the end. Now you'll probably want to cut this down a little bit so it's easier, because like I said, I have about a meter or so left, about a yard or so. And you'll weave in your ends. So I didn't do any of my ends as I went. If you did, you'll already be done with this part. Otherwise, go back through and weave in all of your ends. It's probably easier to do it as you go. I just wanted to do it all at once at the end. I don't weave in my ends properly, but I'll show you how I do it. Grab a tapestry or needle, or like I used to use a darning needle, and actually I may end up grabbing my darning needle for this because I don't know if I'm gonna get this chunky yarn through the eye of the needle very well. I do have this little piece here to help. Do I fully understand how these work? Absolutely not. I think you probably take it like this and then push it through. But then how do you... Yeah, I don't know how this works. Oh, maybe you take it and put it through here. Oh yeah, here we go. And then you grab this and then pull it through. Oh, look at that, I figured it out. That's actually a pretty handy little tool. Cute. You can see what I'm talking about. Ooh. This little shit right here. Yeah, you can see it. Anyway, so I'm not taking the time to cut this down right now. I will just show you on this long ass thing. You just see, and I really like how it ended. And I wonder if that's because I knitted twice. It's really like squared off nice. I think if you do it the way you're supposed to, it is more like how it begins, which is more of a rounded. This is more of like a squared off. I don't know. Anyway, I like it. I like both ends. Also, I really love these colors. They remind me of like a bear or like a caribou or something. I think it's really pretty. It's really giving me like brown bear vibes or something. So, you have umbrellas and smiles, they say. That's what some video I saw said. Which just means like up and down loops. You're supposed to like loop up and down through it. I've also heard just go forward like 8 stitches and then back like 8 stitches. You just need to like lock in the thread. So that's what I'll do. Definitely should have like cut this down before I attempted it, and it feels like it's just too thick to get through everything. Hold on, why am I struggling? Oh, yeah, just because it's so long. Okay. Yeah, I would recommend cutting it down. Maybe I'll do that now before I continue on. Anyways, so you just weave back and forth, and then I will probably wet this in like a bathtub or something, and then roll it up in a towel to dry, just in case there's anything on it. I don't think there is, obviously, but you never know. So anyway, I will be back with the final results. So after weaving in the ends, I blocked it the wet way by putting it in a cleaned sink. You can use a tub. And I soaked it for about 5 minutes. I was reading online that they recommend anywhere between up to 20 minutes for wool, but for alpaca, they recommend between like, I think it said like no more than 10 minutes. And this is, Peruvian wool and alpaca blend. So I just did 5 minutes. And then, you press out as much water as you can. Then you lay it out on a towel or multiple towels. Roll it up with another towel on top. Press as much of the water out as you can. Unroll it, lay it flat. And how you want it, even or whatever, to dry overnight. And it took, I think it took I left it for a couple days to make sure it really felt dry. And here we are. I really enjoy the way this looks. I think it's very nice. It's a nice pattern. Mine ended up, when I measured it, it was about 39 inches wide by about 40 inches. No, 45. I think it was 45 long. No. What was it? Oh, I don't remember. I just went ahead and measured it again. It was 42 wide. No. 33 wide by 42 long. And the pattern itself had said it was going to be like, 45 by 51. And when I was first blocking it, I did stretch it out to pretty much those same dimensions, and it was fine, but it was really like holy, like really like stretched, like here, I'll show you. So like, you know, obviously there's these holes here, which is where the yarn overs happened, but like it was really, all the stitches were really spacey, and it was fine. If you're looking for more of that like lace look or feel, then definitely go ahead and stretch it out that much. And if I decide I want to do that, I can do it again later. But I wanted it more of like a little blanket, either to have on my lap or for, you know, the kitty to lay on. And yeah, so I condensed it a little bit to a size that I think is more appropriate. Yeah, so anyways, I really enjoyed this journey, this knit along of the beginner chevron throw. And let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more knit alongs. The next knitting project I do will be another blanket about this size, but in different patterns. And then I'll make a larger blanket after that. And I'm still working on my hat scarf that I have those ASMR videos of. In the meantime, I'm probably going to go back to doing some of the sewing ASMR videos because I got to finish those backings. And yeah, I will catch you, cool cobras, later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.